guys. This is going to be one of two short videos for the next couple of weeks. I am doing a quick little review of a documentary I watched on Netflix. It's another documentary on dogs. It's called The Mind of a Dog. And it's mostly on how dogs think versus and how that affects their behavior and how we as humans interact with them. And they did highlight, I think it's always funny in documentaries on dogs, how the dog they use to illustrate a lot, not all of it, but a lot of it is usually labs. And if they show a shot of a mom and puppies, it's usually labs, probably because labs are pretty unflappable, and you can get a camera in there with a litter of labs because the moms are usually pretty chill. Usually. I have had a nursing mom that was a lab bark at me when I went to see a litter of puppies when they were like 2 weeks old. So they are protective, but they're not like completely nuts. But it's just kind of funny that happens that way. And how they usually illustrate a dog's intelligence and how they process things. They illustrate this usually with service dogs because they're up here as far as intelligence and how they will function and process. The best way to show that is to show a service dog because they are trained to do X, Y, Z. That does not mean, and they did say, there are really no dumb dogs. They just all process things a little differently. And it was interesting, they said they equated about 20% of dogs exhibit behavior similar to ADHD. And I do think Zoom has that. A lot of that is he does not get enough exercise, but I've been running him down to the park. That being said, I can't do that this week because we're under a bit of a heat advisory right now. So I can't really do that. And he got away from me last night. He decided he was gonna take himself for a walk. So, yeah, I mean, that was kind of interesting because he does exhibit some of that. And then my mom's like, no, most dogs don't get enough exercise. And I'm like, true, but he does this, this, and this. And that's pretty much what they were describing. His focus, I definitely agree with that. I don't think that's always the case that he does not get enough exercise, but I do agree with that a little bit. I'm always interested in watching different service dog programs because of how they do things. Like, they did have a dog that flunked out, or a dog that maybe didn't end up as a mobility dog because it wasn't good with certain things. This dog ended up being like a dog for a veteran, because the interaction aspect this dog was really good at. And it was just kind of interesting how they and they were describing how drug detection, or dogs detect cancer, how just how they test dogs' intelligence, and they were showing how dogs respond to a point, which Zoom will definitely do if you do it the right way. And how dogs respond to a point, and how you cannot get primates like chimps and other apes to do that. Their brain doesn't function like that. And there's things that dogs process that the other primates won't do. But it was interesting how they were taking them to these college campuses and like doing these programs with them. And these were like 2 to 3 month old puppies, so pretty little puppies. And they would do this and they would test them as they got older. But it was just kind of interesting to see different dogs' personalities and how that equates to, can they predict which ones are going to pass the service dog program. They also had a black lab named Peabody, and I was thinking, oh, this dog is going to flunk out. And that was the dog that ended up with the veteran. That was a little bit more passive in the way he was reacting to things. But I have the opposite issue with Zoom. I can get him to focus. I think part of his problem is he has to kind of be suitably motivated. But if I tell him this is what we're doing, he's focused on me, he will respond to that. So I was really happy with that documentary. I thought it was a very good documentary. It was better than the last one I watched, and I thought it was a little bit better structured than the way they documented that one service dog program, the one they did that they ran on Disney Plus a few years ago. So I thought that was kind of interesting thing, and that's why I shared it on here. And I will see you guys in the next one. I'm gonna do a rundown on a supplement I've been using and give you guys do a little video on that and show you why I think that's good for my chronic illness. So I'll see you guys in the next one.